Alright, this is Rick Allison Dynamic Machinery for instruction demo for a BOBCAT T870 rigged out for timber and thicket in Hopkins, South Carolina. First thing, these are the attachment ports, pressure and return lines here, and case drain line here. Those are quick connect hookups. This is a harness plug to operate a stump grinder. This is the harness plug to operate the high flow mulching attachment. So on the stump grinder, this control will move the grinding wheel up and down and side to side to sweep. This is the plug to power that harness that hooks up on the loader arm where I just showed you. On the mulcher, this plug hooks up for the harness, and all this plug does is control the processing door up and down. And of course on both of them they have quick connects that hook up to those quick connects on the loader arm. We've got the M&M tree shear with grapple. It's the shear. These are the grapple arms. These are the quick connects for that, and then this has a BOBCAT integrated electrical harness that hooks up to the BOBCAT electrical plug, which is right there. The only thing the electrical harness does on the tree shear is to enable and disable the grapple arms. So to disable the grapple arms, enable and disable on the grapple arms. And the other functions are operated with this auxiliary control. This switch operates the processing door on the mulcher up and down. Really something you don't use a whole lot. Most of the time you run it with the door up. But this switch will operate that when it's plugged up out there on the mulcher. So, instructions on operating the machine. Get in, lower the seat bar, shut the door of course, make sure it's firmly shut because it will not work if it's not shut, because it has a sensor that recognizes a magnet here in this latch. If this sensor is damaged, unplugged, or if the door is not shut, the loader will not operate. So we're in there with it completely turned off. Very simple start procedure. There's no code programmed into this. A code can be programmed into this, but we ship them without a code. You just turn the knob one click, wait for it to beep and for everything to boot up, and then turn it on over. Now it's cranked. That light should be beeping. That ISO is the kind of control pattern you've chosen for the joysticks. That's what most people use. You can put it on H pattern, but very few people use H pattern. I just level, hours on the machine. This is engine oil pressure, hydraulic oil pressure, battery voltage, and hydraulic oil temperature. Then you can scroll here and it'll give you those values numerically. Go over here. If a code comes up, you can scroll over to this and see what it is. None of this you really even need to mess with. So you've got it started up, but you're not ready to move yet. You need to make sure this parking brake switch is in the off position. Here it's on, here it's off. And then you gotta press this. Keep your hands off the joysticks, press this button, and these two lights go out, and you're ready to go. So there, this is gonna operate your loader just like any other loader. Pull back to get the loader up, push down to put the loader down. Side to side operates the tilt. This drives the machine. Just push it in the direction you want to go. You got a accelerator pedal here. You also have constant throttle here. Whichever one you want to use. So for hooking up to attachments, this has got a hydraulic quick attach. The button to control it is right here. It says BOBCAT wedges. That's for the hydraulic quick attach. It's just up and down. So I'm holding the handle up. Pushing down. Down locks the attachment into place. Up unlocks the attachment. Air conditioning controls down here. When you hook up your attachment, if it's the stump grinder or the mulcher, you're gonna hit that one time. That light comes up. That means that the auxiliary hydraulics are on. You hit it a second time and the second light lights up and it says high flow. Now you're ready to run your stump grinder or your mulcher. And to engage the direction, the flow on those, you'll hit that button over. You can kind of hear the engine loading up. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back off by hitting it a third time. If you're running your shear or your grapple bucket or an attachment that is not high flow, you just hit it one time. You don't want to run high flow on a low flow attachment. Just one time. 2 times is high flow, 3 times is off. So to hook up an attachment, I'm going to hook up to this bucket just to show you how to hook up an attachment. You see the lip that runs along the top of the bucket there? That's the most important thing to look at when you're hooking up. So you're going to approach that. I always just tilt this thing as far forward as I can without getting the handles in the way. And then you fit those go down, and you're ready to go. But I'm going to drop that bucket because I'm going to have the forks attached. So BOBCAT wedges up. I'm going to tilt like we're dumping the bucket, which is going to drop it and push it away. And grab these forks. Okay, so now I've got the forks locking in. One thing you need to get into the habit of is every time you stop your machine and you're getting ready to get out, put the loader arms all the way down, because there's not much clearance between the loader frame and the exit door. So I'm all the way down. I'm going to raise the seat bar. That applies the brakes. I don't have to hit any button. I don't really ever have to mess with this parking brake switch right here. And I just go over here and turn it off. So now I'm outside the machine, around back in the engine compartment, which is opened by this latch right inside here. Everything's pretty easy to get to on here. It's ready to go. It's got new air filters, it's been serviced. This is a fuel filter, which is a cartridge style fuel filter. I think that's a BOBCAT only item. The air filter is a BOBCAT only item. This is an oil filter. You can get that from Wix. It's just for a 3800 Kubota engine. This is a blow-by filter. Everybody always asks about blow-by. Well, a modern diesel engine, they all have blow-by, to the point where a lot of the modern machines have a blow-by filter for recirculating blow-by gases. Engine oil, check it right here. Hydraulic oil level is in this sight glass here. Hydraulic oil fill, you remove this screen and this panel, and there's a cap for the hydraulic oil beneath this panel. This screen is the most critical thing to keep clean while you're mulching, because pine needles and leaves and stuff like that will build up on this screen, and this is where the machine breathes. It pulls air in right here, so if needles and leaves and stuff mat up on this thing, it'll get hot fast. It's pulling air in here and going through the coolers, and it ejects air on each side right here. The other thing to watch on these is the HVAC intake filters. There's one on each side behind these screens. We use a cut to fit home HVAC filter element that's like a blue vinyl, because they're cheaper. BOBCAT charges too much for those filters. I don't know how much they are, but they're way too much, and you have to change them pretty often. This bar right here is for when you run the loader up, you remove these nuts, and then this bar goes above the cylinder housing around the rod so that the loader can't come down while you're working on it. Another thing that you need to do, besides keeping that back area clean and the engine compartment blown out, is periodically You need to raise the cab, which is done by taking these nuts out, one on each side, and standing on the loader frame and lifting the cab with these handles, because you need to clean that area out from time to time. There's some skid plates that you can remove underneath there to help you clean that area out. You need to keep a lot of tension on your tracks. They just need to be extremely tight. And the tension is gained by removing this plate here and pumping with a grease gun.